You already know who it is. Asharenu. We back in this bitch. Right? We feeling good. It's about 7 a.m. on the West Coast, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. Hope everybody's good. So I'm coming right back at y'all, with the nonsense. I'm coming right back at y'all with the nonsense. Y'all thought it was just gonna be one video. Yeah, it's feeling good in LA. Shout out to LA. Shout out to LA. You know what I mean? We in Vegas right now, specifically Summerlin. Summerlin is on the west side of Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Where it's not a lot of gambling going on. It's pretty much it's real calm and cool. Peace. What's up? Peace. What's up? Good morning. He said, "What nonsense? I guess you didn't see yesterday's video, right?" You know what I mean? So for anybody who didn't see yesterday's video, you will understand this video more once you see yesterday's joint. One love. I see you. What's up, Grand Inquisitor? What's up, Dizzy? What's up, Silver Knight, G Star, Carlos, no account? You know what I mean? What's up with no account? You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by the nonsense. Because yeah, I understand. Like the video was like 2 hours and 30 minutes. You know what I mean? These videos be super long. So I understand everybody's not gonna see every video. You know what I mean? So that's just the way it goes. So that's why I'm just giving y'all a warning. So if you didn't see yesterday's video, if you don't care to see it, then you probably won't understand the context of this video. But I try to put it into context as much as I can. So today's topic is the sexual underworld. Now, why am I bringing up the sexual underworld? Like I said, yesterday's video, the whole purpose of the video was talking about power, how to amass power, how to gain power. You know what I mean? If you want to be anything in this world, you have to have power. You have to gain power, and you have to get it from some ways. Again, some people choose to gain power, with blood sacrifice. Others choose to gain power through, meditation, and doing things, in a more spiritual light, right? So in this video, which I didn't really speak on yesterday, I didn't really speak on the aspect of gaining energy through the sexual act. I didn't really speak on that too deep because I wanted to focus on some other things. So this video, I want to focus directly on the sexual underworld. And again, if anybody has any questions during the live stream, feel free to ask questions. We don't necessarily have to stay strictly on topic. Again, I just want to kind of get out of the phase of being too serious. I know I'll be coming on here being serious. I'm not a serious person at all. I'm not a serious person at all, even though it may seem that way, but I'm not. Like I say, you know what I mean? We gonna chill out. We gonna have a little fun, before I go up in the library, get my studies on. Y'all already know. I may even do another live stream after I'm done, just depending on how I'm feeling. I guess I'm just feeling like, just trying to release some more information since I don't really be on too often. You know what I mean? So just laying down the foundation. So what is the sexual underworld? Right? Now let's put this into proper context. So for one, before I even go in, this isn't me recommending anybody to do this if you're not already in that mindset. For one, so let me make that clear. This is not to encourage anybody to do something that isn't already within their nature. You know what I mean? Two, this isn't to encourage, just having random sex and being promiscuous and all that if it's not in your nature. All right? So that's just to clarify that. So I want to clarify. This isn't recommending anybody to do something that's not already in your nature. Unless you choose to engage, which would be on you. All right. So just giving out a pre-warning. So this isn't to promote anything or to not promote anything. This is just to give the information out. You do with it as you please. Again, the same thing for the last video, the same thing for every video, on the channel, every video in the future. Like this is just giving out the information. How you choose to use it is on you. Now, with that being said, with that being known and with that being understood, let us get involved, right? Let's take a dive into the deepness. So what is the sexual underworld? Why does it exist? How long has it existed? What is the purpose? The sexual underworld, you can say, is a realm, a portal, a dimension, whatever you want to call it, right? Specifically for beings who want to amass power in that way. What do I mean by that? So you have, again, you have those who choose to have blood sacrifices. You have those who choose to go out into the forest and meditate all the time. You know what I mean? You have those who, whatever your method is. Hold on, give me a second. We make a little adjustment. Sorry about that. Whatever your method is to gain power, you have an avenue to do so. So for those who choose to use their lower chakras and to convert and transmute the energy into the higher chakras, the sexual underworld is for you. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'll give you a live example. So, this happened maybe happened maybe 5 days ago. What's up, Kush Goddess? This happened maybe 5 days ago, right? So I'm walking down the street, normal shit, nothing special, right? Then a car pulls up to me, right? Car pulls up to me. It's a dude. It's a dude in the car, right? So he pulls up. All right, I'm walking down the street. It's a parking lot. So he pulls into the parking lot and he calls like, hey, come over here. So I come off the sidewalk into the parking lot. I'm like, yo, what's going on with you? And he was like, hey, you trying to make an extra $1,000? I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, yo, I run a porn, I don't want to say industry, but a porn company. He said, I run a porn company. I'm about to pick up 2 girls right now. We looking for skinny black guys. These are his exact words, right? This is his exact words. Good morning, good morning. Like, we looking for skinny black dudes. And I'm just looking like, this is weird, right? I'm like, I'm not really saying much. I'm like, this is Vegas for you, right? I'm like, welcome. The only thing going through my mind is welcome to Las Vegas. That's just the only thing going. I'm like, yo, I guess this is just the type of shit that happens, right? So I'm gonna say it's early. No, it's perfect timing for this. It's perfect timing. It's perfect timing. It's no sleep. It's no sleep over here. It's no sleep. Obviously, let us continue. So I'm just looking like, yo, I don't even know. I don't know what to say to this guy. I'm like, yo, it's going through my mind. I'm like, So you basically telling me, you're basically saying that you about to pick up 2 women. You're looking for skinny black dudes, and you just so happen to find. You're driving down the street. You just so happen to find me, right? I just so happen to, whatever, right? And I get to fuck 2 beautiful bitches. He like, yo, you ain't got to show your face or nothing, because he kind of saw the confusion in my face. I'm like, but he like, yo, if you don't want to show your face, you ain't got to show your face. I was like, you just making it easy, huh? I'm like, all right. Exactly. We don't sleep. We take naps. Exactly. So I'm looking like, yo, you making this a little bit too easy. I'm like, So I get to fuck 2 beautiful bitches, get $1,000, don't have to show my face. I'm like, Well, what is the kicker? You got the catch 22, right? I'm like, well, what's the catch? I'm like, it's a little bit too good to be true, right? Like, what dude doesn't want to do this, right? Let's just be real. So I'm like, all right. Then he continues to say, he's like, yo, how big is your dick? And at that point, I'm like, yo, this is a no-go. I'm like, this is a no-go. Because I'm like, yo, another dude just asked me how big my dick is. I'm like, yo. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Why would I tell you that? I'm like, why would I tell you that? What's up, Moon Spirit? He like, yo, I just, he's like, yo, I'm a director. I just gotta ask. He like, I gotta ask. I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, you don't gotta ask. I'm like, oh, this is what's going on. I'm like, okay. Then it clicked in my mind. I'm like, yo, I'm good, bro. I'm good. He like, all right, no doubt. He gave me a little fist bounce, whatever the fuck that's called. And he kept it moving. I'm like, yo, okay, that little moment, it clicked in my head. Why do everybody say I'm up early with the shits? As if we don't go to sleep on the shits, as if we don't wait. You know what I mean? Like, this is just life. Welcome to Vegas. So, at that moment, I realized what was really going on. Hold on, let me put this down. Okay. At that moment, I realized what was really going on. What was really going on is those so-called directors who be directing those movies and all that, it's like they get off on the shit too. They get off on the shit. Like, don't get it confused. Like, all these, when you watching porn, everybody has seen it. So just be real. You at least seen it. You may not watch it on a daily basis. It may not be your hobby, but you have at least seen it at some point in your life. Those directors be into the shit on both ways. Like, they like both. You know what I mean? They like to see fucking long dick motherfuckers and big titty bitches and all that. Like, they like both of that shit. So I'm like, yo, he didn't have to ask me my size. He just wants to know my fucking size because that's gonna turn him on. It has nothing to do with the women. Now, it would have been different if the women was in the car asking me. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If a woman pulled up on me with that same acquisition, with that same agreement, or with that same contract, it probably would have been a different result. I'm just gonna keep it real. If it was a woman that pulled up, hey, I'll give you $1,000 to fuck the shit out of me, I would have been like, all right, maybe we can work something out. Because it's different. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna keep it real. And maybe we're like, yo, maybe we can work something out. It ain't even about the money. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even be doing it for the money. You know what I mean? That's not a problem. It would just be for the principle. I'm like, yo, I'm honored. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But let's get back on point. The money thing. Because let me break down what actually happened for those who didn't really catch it. Let me break it down. They already know, and when I say they, I mean those who exist in the sexual underworld. They already know that money, I'm not going to say money is a root of all evil, but money tempts people. People can be tempted into doing things they otherwise wouldn't have done. If you throw some money in their face, like, all right, I'll give you this amount. All you got to do is this. All you got to do is give me some head. I'll give you, $100. All you got to do is give me head, 5 minutes. I don't last long. You know what I mean? You can make an extra $100. Extra $500. All you gotta do is lay on your back. You know what I mean? I only take 10, 15 minutes. You get an extra $500. Well, whatever, right? So people know the power of money. That's why the money was thrown in. So that's why he didn't say, like, yo, are you interested in a career of porn or pornography? I believe that's how you said. Yeah. So he didn't ask that. Like, yo, is this a career interest for you? Like, I understand you may already be working a job and all that. So he didn't say it like that. He said, yo, I got $1,000 for you. I just need you to do this scene. So it wasn't even about a long-term thing. It was about in a moment thing, right? The number 5 versus the number 8 for all my numerologists out there. Number 5 is all about that quick cash. Number 8 is all about building an empire. So he wasn't talking about that 8 talk. Because if he was talking about that 8 talk, it probably would have been a different conversation. He was talking about that 5 talk, and that's why I'm like, you know, the quick schemes, the quick money schemes. I'm like, that should be sketchy. I'm like, seeming kind of sketchy. But like I said, had he pulled up with the women already in the car, and they flashing titties and shit, I'm like, yo, maybe he would have had something. But it didn't happen like that. Why? Because, you know, they be having different intentions on their mind. You really don't know what a person's really thinking. So, let me continue. So, this sexual underworld exists, right? Women already know this. The men may not know this because, you know, it may not be a lot of dudes that get approached like that. You know what I mean? Now, of course, there are some. If you're really in the streets, you already know about this because you see it. But for those who really don't be in the streets like that, you may not know what's really going on because it's hidden in plain sight. Now, what do I mean by hidden in plain sight? What I mean by hidden in plain sight is these people will have on plain clothes. They look like regular people, but they're not. I think somebody left a comment asking me to talk about sex demons or some shit. Let me see. I think somebody said something about that because we can tie all that in. Yeah, you should make a video on sexual demons. Well, we can just talk about that right now. This kind of ties into what I'm talking about anyway. So we can throw that in real quick. So this is what I'm getting at. These people look like regular motherfuckers, right? You wouldn't think twice about them. They walking down the street, they driving in their car. They look like regular motherfuckers. You know, just going to their regular jobs, taking care of their family, doing regular human shit. But these motherfuckers are sex demons. Alright? Porn taught me about the secret relationship between black men and white men. Shit, I don't. It's a secret relationship between black men and white men. What is that? Enlighten us. I didn't know it was a secret relationship. I'm just kidding. I know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at. But let the people know. I don't want to say it. Since you brought it up, you revealed the secret. But let me continue. We'll talk about that in just a second. So these people look regular. Well, I've seen too many oral worship. That's funny as fuck. That's funny as fuck. But we can dig on that in just a second. Let me get out of this sun. Hold on, cause this is super hot. Let me get in some shade. Give me 1 second. All right, we good right here. Okay, let us continue. Black guys seem to love using white men for oral sex. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure the lighting is good. There we go. It's a very interesting statement, don't you think? Now, why is that? Since you bringing all this stuff up, why is that? But yeah, let's talk about sexual demons, because that's where I was getting at anyway. These people look like regular motherfuckers, but they really some shape-shifting motherfuckers who thrive off of the sexual energy, because that's where they amass their power. That's why they just have $1,000 for your ass, or 500 for you, whatever money they offer, right? Where are they getting this money? Where are they getting these women? Are you just rolling up on women? You know, talking about like, yo, I just got the bread for you. Or is it just men? You know, like, where is this money coming from, right? Yeah, let me get over here. So, yeah, we good. Where's all this money coming from, right? Remember, energy is currency. Energy is currency. So they can use the sex force and translate that into money and translate that into energy, however they want to do it, right? So how would a person get in tune with this sexual underworld if this is the path that they want to take, right? Sex is, I guess, all right. Let me address this first, because now y'all talking about this fucking secret relationship between black men and white men. Let me clear that up. Let me let y'all know where that came from, or in recent times, right? In recent times, if you don't already know, that comes from slavery. What do I mean by that? Meaning y'all, I guess y'all should know this, but y'all may not know this. Meaning when they used to put black men up for what is it, auction? When they will auction the black men, the black slaves, they will have them standing up there butt ass naked, and they will have these little bitty horny white men looking all at their dick and balls and their ass cracks. Why do you think that was? This is where this shit comes from. So you have these naked, big, buff black men, or just ripped black men. You know what I mean? Dick is hanging all out. They ain't allowed to cover themselves for nothing, right? So they looking at everything. So when these little white men like something they see, they put that money down. Like, all right, I want that guy. They put the money down. Then now they own this slave, and that's why I say recent times, because somebody just said white men been like that since ancient times. That's why I'm speaking about. I specifically said modern times, because if we go back too far, it gets too blurry. You can at least look this up. You know what I mean, and have no doubts about it. Now, if we talking about ancient times, it's a little bit blurry. You know what I mean? People can put their opinions into it because it's too far back. You know what I mean? So, what's the deal, Dragon OG? Let us continue. So you had these horny ass white men, so paying for the slaves, and they own the slave. So the slave gonna do whatever they're told. So you have these white men sucking and fucking on their slaves. That's just what it is, right? So does this still continue to this day? Absolutely. Right? I'm saying the Romans and shit. What I'm telling you is, we know this. I'm using a modern day example because it's easier to research. If we start going into Roman times and Greek times, so I'm not talking about the origin. We know that it's older than slavery. That's not questioned. I'm just using a modern day example, so I don't want to go too far back. And you know what I mean? A lot of confusion could be slipped into that. So I'm just using modern day terms so that we can understand why this is a little bit closer to why it's going on now, regardless of the origin. So, the sexual underworld exists because you can amass power with the sexual force. So because you can amass power with the sexual force, because most people are ignorant, they don't know how to do this themselves. That's how the porn industry was created. The porn industry started off underground. Like, the porn industry didn't really start thriving until like the mid 70s, if y'all want to do your history. The porn industry didn't really start thriving until the mid 70s. But before that, it was like an underground thing. You had to go to the underworld to even, get pornography. But once the 70s hit, the mid 70s, the whole 70s is a special time. You know what I mean? It's a special. It's one of those 10 years. It's a real special time. But we don't got to talk about that now. We'll just use this example. So once it started to pop off, and it became more mainstream, then it amassed a lot of energy, right? So all the way up until like the 2000s, like the porn industry didn't really start to die until like, yeah, like the 2000s. Once the internet started hitting real heavy, like the 2000s, that's when the porn industry was on the decline. But it had a good 25-year run where a lot of people got rich from that. A lot of people still living off of shit, not porn checks from the 90s, because it would just generate so much money. It's the same thing with Las Vegas. Las Vegas was like at its peak in like the 90s, because the strip doesn't even look the same. For those who I'm just giving y'all some history lessons, because I told y'all I was gonna talk more about history, so y'all can piece all these things together. Like if you go on YouTube, but I guess you're already on YouTube, right? So if you type in the Las Vegas Strip in the 90s, type in Las Vegas Strip in the 90s, then type in Las Vegas Strip 2018, and you see the difference. Meaning, what we think of the strip is, when you think of like the Las Vegas Strip, you think about lights, you think about neon lights and all that. The strip doesn't even look like that anymore. You know, with the shining lights, it looked like, you know, stars are lighting up. The strip don't even look like that anymore. It looks more professional. It looks more whitewashed, and not in today's times, right? It don't look nothing like vintage Las Vegas. Vintage Las Vegas was all about stardust, you know what I mean? Particles and everything lighting up and lights glowing and all that. It doesn't look like that anymore. Because Vegas was, you could say, at its peak in the 90s before it started to switch. But again, just giving y'all some history lessons. Because this is just the history of the West Coast. You know what I mean? This is a lot of this was going on in California. Obviously, the porn industry was started in California, so we just talking about West Coast history. Because obviously, this is why this energy is still here. Because again, yesterday I'm talking about the women and all that. So this is why the West Coast has the energy it has. You know what I mean? Because you can say the base chakra in because the world has chakras too. Just like the human body has chakras, the base chakra or the root chakra is in California. So that's why the West Coast is such like on a primitive level in terms of with the sexuality. That's why the energy is sexual, and that's why like the further you go east, you know, the energy is more on the upper chakras. Like you started going on the East Coast, now the energy is more emphasis on the higher chakras. Because again, that's just how the world works. And you go all the way. I believe the crown chakra is in like Tibet. So that's why, you know, when you go over there with the yogis and in that Eastern knowledge, the Far East with the Eastern knowledge, that's why they be on that supernatural shit. You know, they be on some fifth dimensional shit, because that, you know, they are by the crown chakra of the earth. That's why over here, you know, we're more primitive. You know, we're more tropical. You know, we're closer to the equator, because this is right by the base chakra on the earth, for those who may not know that. Right? So I'm just giving y'all little bits and pieces so you can piece together the story. So getting back to the sexual underworld. Now, this can be done yourself. So you don't need to join any organization. You don't need to wait till a motherfucker pull up on you, ask you how big your dick is, or, you know, or how wet your pussy can get, whatever, you know. Whatever they pull up, you know, they be pulling up asking. They feel like they can be that forward because they throwing money at you. It's the same thing like a prostitute. You know what I mean? A man can say, yo, how much can I fuck for? Or whatever, you know what I mean? With a prostitute, she just let you know the price. You know what I mean? She ain't gonna like, yo, you can't talk to me like that. She's like, yo, this is what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I'm glad you asked me for a price, because it's too many motherfuckers out here trying to fuck for free. Nonetheless, let us continue. So, you don't have to wait for a motherfucker to pull up on you with the bag. You can do this yourself. You can amass energy yourself. Now, how do you do that? Because I'm pretty sure everybody's fucking anyway. Let's just be real, right? I'm pretty sure everybody's fucking anyway. So it ain't even about just having sex, because everybody does that anyway. Now we're going into sex magic, which I've talked about a lot in my earlier videos. I haven't really spoke about it in my recent videos. Now we're getting into sex magic. And hopefully y'all are kind of familiar with that concept. But if you're not, allow me to explain. For those who's just catching up, right? Sex magic is basically holding an intention in your mind while you are performing the sexual act. So instead of, it's just like going to sleep. Instead of like when you lay down and go to sleep, you're trying to release all your energy. You're just trying to get some rest. You're not necessarily trying to focus on anything. You just want to lay down and sleep. It's the same thing with sex. Most people are not thinking about anything when they're having sex. They just want to enjoy the moment of it. They're not necessarily focused on anything. So with sex magic, you can pull all this energy that's being generated in the base chakras, right? Not the base chakras, the base chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. All the energy that's being generated in the lower chakras, you can convert this energy. So, because you building up all this energy from the friction is building up all this energy. So you can pull this energy up. They call this onking. Onking. Type that shit in YouTube and do the science of that. It's called onking. When you're pulling up this sexual energy to the higher chakras. So you're generating all this energy because of the friction that's going on. Now you're using techniques from onking to pull the energy up. You're pulling the energy up to the third eye. Now, once you pull the energy up to the third eye, you place an image in your third eye of whatever it is that you want to manifest. So you place an image in your third eye of whatever it is you want to manifest. And you hold that image the entire time, all the way up till you have an orgasm. Then when you have an orgasm, you release the image. Because you have amassed all this energy, because again, manifestation takes energy. Everything that you do requires energy. So this is just another way to amass energy. And you can manifest. So it ain't just, you just fun fucking and you just fucking just for the feeling and just because you're horny. Now you are converting a primitive act into a magical act. Now sex becomes a magical act. Now they already knew this in the porn industry. That's why it was able to become as big as it was. They already knew this science. So it wasn't just people were just addicted to watching other people fuck. It's just that it was a lot of energy or sex demons being summoned through the porn industry because they were already in tune. So people was wondering why, like, damn, why does this shit make me so fucking horny? You know what I mean? Why do I like all this obscene shit? Because it's sexual demons being channeled through. Now, I don't say that like it's a bad thing or something wrong with that, because it's not. So the same way you got people channeling angels, you just had people channeling entities that like to feed off the energy of sex. They like that. They like that type of energy. So again, I'm not saying it's like this is just something wrong. I know a lot of people like, yo, this is demonic, but so fucking what? We have aspects within ourselves that are very demonic. Then we have aspects within ourselves that are very angelic. It is what it is. Again, no judgment is being passed. So, but that's pretty advanced. Because you can do that if you want to pull deities and entities through the sexual act, so that they can manifest within yourself or within your partner, and they can become you become like a vessel, for this deity to animate itself or to reveal certain information to you. You can do that as well, if you fucking choose. Everything is on you. Again, this video is all about information. How you choose to use it is up to you. But getting back to the sex magic. So I'm just giving you different aspects on sex magic, right? Oh yeah. The whole thing with Disney. You know what I mean? Yeah, they was putting all type of sexual innuendos in the Disney movies. Y'all do y'all history on that. They got plenty of YouTube documentaries of, what I mean? Like Disney was putting all type of sexual innuendos in the kids movies. But it is what it is. I don't feel no type of way about that either. Because it's like if you do your history on these people, if you do your history on Hollywood, you already know what they on. You already know what they about. So when you expose your kids to all this shit, all these movies, you know what I mean? That's on you. You already know what they about. You already know what they about. You know what I mean? So I don't feel no type of way about it. So yeah, they've been putting sexual innuendos in all these kids movies, but that's just what they do, you know. So it's not, to me, it's not really a big deal. Again, it's because of we are on this part of the planet. We are about the base chakra. So this is the energy that dominates, whether you like it or not. And again, I'm not this now. Again, everybody's not on the West Coast, right? But I'm telling you, this is where they do their business, right? So this is why that sex force and that sexual energy and that sexual magic, and they put it in everything that they do. That's why they do this, because you can say this part of the planet is ruled by demonic energy, right? The entertainment industry, the movie industry, whatever that shit is called, right? All the industries is ruled by the sex force because we are on that part of the planet. That's just the energy that dominates. It's dominated by the demonic energy. And by them being wise enough to know that, they can tap into that energy and amass power. That's how Hollywood has become as powerful as it become. The entertainment industry, the movie industry. These this is what built, these are the foundations of all these industries. They built all their energy off of the sex force by tapping into sexual magic, by channeling in deities. And again, yesterday I talked all about deities and how you need to feed these deities. So they will feed these deities with the sex force, with porn. So porn was feeding these deities. So in return, like, all right, we're going to give you all this power. Like I said, you channel in this demon so that it can suck off, so it can feed off of the sex force that's being generated, and in return you get power. This is just basic alchemy, you know what I mean? It ain't about emotions, because they don't deal in emotions, they don't deal in moralism. That's why, again, you will see the most strangest shit you've ever seen, watching porn, because it feeds certain energies. Because again, people want to see that. Like, that's just a part of ourselves that has been denied and suppressed, due to religion, and just do your history. So that part of ourselves have been suppressed. So we can take our minds as far as we want to take it, because that part of ourselves has been suppressed. So when you see some strange shit, it turns you on, because we're just not used to expressing that part of ourselves, because that energy has been suppressed, right? Somebody put Los Angeles equal Los Angeles. That is not what Los Angeles means, bro. Or woman, whatever your gender is. That is not what Los Angeles means. It means City of Angels, not Los Angeles. City of Angels, because it is a very angelic city. If you've ever been to Los Angeles, have you ever been to Los Angeles? Since you commented on it, have you ever been there personally? Like, don't say no. Cause if you never been there, then you know what I mean? If you never been there, then I don't know why you commenting, bro. But have you ever been there? But well, we don't need to wait till you answer. Exactly. You never even been there, man. So let me speak, right? Because I've been there. So I'm speaking from personal experience. I've been all up in Hollywood. You know what I mean? I've walked these streets. I've communicated. I know how the energy is. So I'm giving you a perspective that you can't get from nobody else, from all these people who just researching shit on YouTube, all these people reading books. I'm telling you something that you would never hear from nobody else's mouth, because I've been in these streets like that. I know exactly what's going on. So everything is factual. But so let me tell you though. So just listen up, because you're not gonna hear it from nobody else. Or if they do say it, then they got this religious content. They're like, yo, this is this is demonic. We're good Christians. We can't stand this. Fuck all that. I'm just telling y'all just strictly about energy. It's just strictly about energy. Let me continue though. Los Angeles is a very religious city. It's a very religious city because of that. Because the energy is so demonic, Los Angeles is a very, very, very religious city. You literally have a church on every block. Or you are within walking distance. You can be anywhere in Los Angeles and you are within walking distance of some type of religious institution. That's because it is a very, 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 very religious city. Church on every block. to me, that came from Los Angeles. I don't know what other city has a church on every block. I'm pretty sure there's other cities like, of course, like down south. The South is very religious as well, but the energy is very demonic down south as well. For those who don't know that, the energy is because the South is dealing with earth energy. Earth energy is very sexual and it is very demonic. And again, I got personal experience. I know all about that southern energy. You know what I mean? Very, very strange activity goes down south. But again, no judgment is being passed. It just is what it is. This is just how energy works. And people choose to utilize it however the fuck they choose to utilize it. Why? Because this is where I was getting at. These people don't deal in emotions. These people don't deal in moralism. They're not dealing with what's right or wrong, what's good or bad, what they should or shouldn't be doing. They just deal strictly with energy. You know what I mean? You from Louisiana, so all right. So you know all about that voodoo. You already know about that voodoo. You already know how they get down. You already know about Marie Laveau, right? You already know about that. You already know about that history. You already know about that. So I ain't even got to speak on it. You know what I mean? You ain't even got to speak on it. But let us continue. So they're not dealing with moralism. They're not dealing with emotion. They're not dealing with what's right or what's wrong. They just deal strictly with energy. So because of that, that's how they have been able to amass energy, right? So I encourage everybody to do the same. Not necessarily using the sex magic. If this is just too much for you, then use a different method. And again, I talked about different methods in my previous video. You know what I mean? So this is strictly for the people who want to use these methods. I'm just giving y'all the foundation to how the energy works, the history of it, why it works, what they do it for, and all that. So instead of telling you some shit, I gave you a whole timeline to research if you need more information. So I gave you a whole timeline. If you want to know anything about the sexual energy, sex magic, so on and so forth. Let us continue. So, I believe somebody asked me in the comments, how do women do this? So let me speak on that part. Because women are the most intricate part within all this. Honestly. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. Women are the most intricate part because women are the vessels. What do I mean by that? Women absorb energy, men emit energy, right? Men are electric, women are magnetic, right? So, all of the energy that is being generated from the sexual act is being absorbed by the woman. The woman is absorbing all this energy. So the woman becomes the oracle. So whenever they want to channel demons, or whenever you want to channel demons, for all my dark workers, whenever you want to channel demons, all the energy that's being generated when you are performing your sexual alchemy, when you are performing your sexual magic, the woman is the vessel that's converting all of this energy that's being generated. So the spirit is going to usually speak through the woman. The spirit is usually going to come through the woman. That's why they're the most intricate part, because it's through the woman that you can tell if you were successful in your undertakings or not. Why? Because a woman can channel the spirit directly, because a woman is the oracle, because they are absorbing all this energy. So if the man and the woman, or the man and the man, or the woman and the woman, however the fuck that shit goes down, the fucking orgies, you know what I mean? Again, this is what Hollywood was built off of, fucking orgies, man on man, woman on woman, just bunch of people in a room fucking in a mansion parties where there's people fucking in every room. Do this all of the time, because this is how they survive. Why? Because the energy there is demonic. The demons are feeding off of this energy. In return, they are giving them power. So this is just how they get down. They just do this shit every weekend type shit. This is just a weekend, you know what I mean? All right, we about to go to the fucking mansion party, and we about to, they put on their little mask, They put on their little mask, so like nobody really knows who each other is, and they just motherfuckers just fuck who they want to fuck. It's condoms everywhere. This just is what it is. Now this it's not no big fucking secret. This is just how energy works. Feel however you want to feel about it, but this is what's really going on. This is the real world. This is what's really going on because of how people feel about it. This is how energy works. This is how it's being operated. Again, it's just a regular weekend to regular motherfuckers and in the industry. So I'm just giving y'all insight into what's going on. So if you wanna implement this in your own life without having to join that energy, because you may not agree with that. You may not want to work with specific deities and energies. You may want to work with your own deities and energies. You may want to be in control of the process. You may want the energy to be redirected to another source. Therefore, you can do all this yourself. So the same thing they're doing, you can do yourself. You can have a fucking orgy in your own household and honor it to a specific energy. Like, all right, I'm about to invite 20 motherfuckers over here, 10 men, 10 women, and we all about to perform this sex ritual, this sex orgy, and honor it. So we're gonna give all this energy to this specific deity. And in return, we want this deity to give us power to do whatever it is that we're trying to do. People do this shit all of the time. So you wonder how one day a motherfucker is fucked up. Then the next time you see him, they all the way on the come up. And they didn't do it from working a job, and they didn't do it from an inheritance. They didn't do it from just doing what regular people do. You wonder how this miraculous shit is happening. Well, this is how this shit is happening because they are tapping into the supernatural forces of the earth and beyond, on the earth, below the earth, and in the terrestrial, the extraterrestrials, right? So I know, this may be going over a lot of people's heads, but I know this is speaking directly to certain people as well. You already know how it is. So, just to answer that question, what part do women play? They are the most intricate part. They are the oracles. They are the vessels. You know what I mean? It's going to be through the woman that you know. How do you know? For example, when the woman is having an orgasm, she may have a full body orgasm. Most women have never experienced a full body orgasm. But when you are channeling spiritual energy, you may give this woman a full body orgasm back to back to back to back type shit. So now you fucking with some power. Let's be real. Motherfucker full body is shaking. You can just sit down smoking a cigarette and just, be looking at her and she just literally just in an orgasmic state. For like a prolonged orgasmic state. Most people never even seen no shit like that. You know what I mean? But that's how you know when you fucking with some real energy. When when you are allowing these spirits and these deities to come through you. You know what I mean? Literally. You know what I mean? Where as a man, you're able to bust a nut and you don't lose energy. Because motherfuckers wonder why, like, damn, how motherfuckers in the porn industry, it's as if they can bust back to back, They just seems like they just have come for days. Like, damn, like, motherfucker, how the fuck are you generating this much sperm or this much semen? This shit just seems unreal, right? It's like, how the fuck are you even doing this, right? When I do it, I just have little drippy drops just dripping out. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers shooting all over the fucking room. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? This is what's going on. That's how they're able to do it. You know what I mean? Because they are channeling spirits. So the spirit gives you extra energy. Heard they have to hold their sperm for 45 seconds. Now, yes, there are techniques to help you enhance that. Yes. You know what I mean? Like exercising the PC muscle. So yes, like if y'all even know what the PC muscle is. So yes, there you can build up your PC muscle to the point where you can prolong your orgasm or you can not come when you feel the sensation. So yes, there are techniques. There are techniques, but again, when we're dealing with spirituality, it's a whole different level. Does that put their soul in jeopardy? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's the same way where, you see, this is what I mean. You don't hear people asking those type of questions when people talk about they channel angels, right? You don't hear people even asking that, right? Like, oh, is this? Oh, when you channel angels, is that putting your soul in jeopardy? Oh, when Jesus came to you in a dream, is that putting your soul in jeopardy? You don't even hear people talking like that. It's only when the energy is sexual or is demonic that people get spooked out. Like, yo, isn't that wrong? Isn't that like fucking your soul up? But nobody says that when like, yo, when I just spoke to Melchizedek, or I just spoke to Metatron, or I just spoke to Enoch, I just spoke to Jesus. Nobody's even gonna look at you crazy like, oh shit. Well, what did they say? Nobody's asked like, yo, you sure you messing with the right spirits? You know what I mean? You don't have, it's not that type of reaction. So you see there's a bias there. There's a very, very big bias. Like, it's okay to do anything with the angels. But when you fucking with you fucking with the dark side, you may be opening doors that you can't close. It's just that you can say the angelic beings don't really require energy. The darker beings require energy, meaning you need a sacrifice. They require a sacrifice, whether versus the angels, you can say they don't require a sacrifice. So the darker beings, right? They want some energy. They not just gonna come just because you call on them like yo, help me out, bro. It's like, what you gonna do for me? That's just the mentality they have. They're like, yo, who the fuck is you? Why? Because they deal with power. When it comes to the angels, they're like, yo, they don't, you can say they on a higher realm, so they don't need power. They on a whole nother realm, so they really don't need it. So they just help you out. It is what it is. But the demons is like, yo, I'm not doing shit for you if you ain't doing shit for me. But that's the same mentality in the streets. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Like, yo, all right, if you want help, then you got, I need some energy. You know what I mean? All right, so all right, where do I get energy from? Well, you see that girl over there? She's my avatar. Have sex with her for 45 minutes. Generate energy. I'm gonna drain all of that energy, and I'm gonna give you what you request. Now, of course, it don't just happen like that. If you're not gonna hear this entity speak to you like that. I'm just giving you an example. Somebody is asking, so girl on girl or male on male channels a different energy than male on female. Yeah, it's a different energy. It definitely is a different energy. That's why, yeah, you have certain deities that prefer dude on dude or girl on girl. They prefer that. You know what I mean? It just depends on what energy you're working with, what type of route you would take to work with the deity. So yeah, you got motherfuckers who got a preference. So it is what it is. What about an offering like liquor or coffee, not blood sacrifice? Again, these deities are dealing with power. They're dealing with power. They don't give a fuck about no coffee. They don't give a fuck about no liquor. Now, yes, liquor, spirits like liquor. So I'm not discounting liquor like it doesn't have a worth. The spirits do like liquor. But these deities, if we're talking about I'm not talking about the low level deities. I'm not deities. I'm not talking about the low level demons. So let me make that clear. I'm not talking about low level demons who just roaming around this motherfucker, just trying to suck energy off of anybody. I'm talking about motherfuckers with power, real power. And if you're trying to get real power, so that's what I'm talking. I'm talking about high level demons who have real power. What's a high level deity or what's a high level demon? A high level demon or a high level deity has real power and has the ability to create miracles for you. You know what I mean? For example, look at a porn star. That's from a demon, right? A demon can make you a porn star. Somebody who is able, or in other words, somebody who is an avatar for them. A porn star is an avatar for a demon. So whenever this porn star has sex, they are channeling that energy and giving it to this deity. And in return, that deity is giving them fame and money and whatever the fuck else, right? Whatever material goods. All the demon wants is energy. The demon don't give a fuck about fame. The demon don't give a fuck about money. The demon deals with energy, specifically. Baphomet, nah, not Baphomet. Baphomet is more of a feminine deity, but you can say Baphomet is male and female actually. But no, I'm not talking about Baphomet. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, we're not gonna name drop. Like I said, I'm not here. I'm just here to give the information. If you actually want to put any of this to practice, you got to do it on your own. You're not gonna do it because I gave you the name of the deity and you're not gonna put that on me. Because again, if you want to do it, you gotta further do your research. I'm just here to give you the information, for you to understand how the shit works. Again, if you want to actually put it into action, then you have to put it into action on your own. Would I be willing to let another entity inhabit my vessel? Yeah, I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Where do y'all think all this information comes from? You know what I mean? But sometimes it's demons, sometimes it's angels. Y'all already know. Just look at my energy and my videos. The energy don't always be the same. Sometimes I'm more hype, sometimes I'm more mellow. Sometimes, you know what I mean, it just is what it is, right? But but my intentions be for information. So I may work with a certain deity to see what it knows and exchange information more so than I'm trying to do something else with it. So I do it for the information. But now, well, we can say I did it for the information. Now, you know what I mean, I'm like, yo, it's time to graduate, right? And I just feel like, again, if you want to be anybody in this world, you need power. So I'm graduating. I'm like, all right, all right, the information is cool. No doubt, the information is cool, but it's time to get some power. You know what I mean? Let's just stop bullshitting. Let's stop acting like there's another way around this shit. It's just all about what path are you willing to take to get the power. So we all need power. If you trying to do anything in this world, you need power. There's just no way around that. You know what I mean? Exactly. Money, power, respect. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? Maybe not necessarily in that order. Not necessarily in that order, but yes, that's how it goes. You know what I mean? So again, we ain't gonna take up too much time. I'll be on here a few more minutes before we get up out of here. Like I said I may come on later on, but it all depends on how I'm feeling. If I find something to talk about. So I just literally thought about this probably about 5 minutes before I hit the live stream button. Y'all already know how I do. I just thinking about, all right, let me talk about this. I just hit the record button. So I didn't really pre-think any of this, you know what I mean? So I wasn't just walking around thinking about this for the last hour, 2 hours, you know what I mean? I just think about it just quickly, and I just tap in. I'm like, yo, let me just, because again, this is information that I've already been doing all this stuff. Like, so I'm in the field every day, all day. So this information just stay on my brain. Yeah, you already know. You know what I mean? You got to go with the flow. You got to go with the flow. So unless anybody has any questions, we gonna log out to a little bit later. Let me see what time it is. So I still got a little. Yeah, so I know. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not doing these videos for the fame. I'm not doing it for no other reason. Like I said, I'm losing subscribers. Whenever I talk about real shit, I lose subscribers. For y'all who did know that, I lose subscribers. Like whenever I speak the truth, I lose subscribers. Whenever I'm on that nice shit, motherfuckers love it. But when I start talking that ridiculous shit, that Gnostic shit, motherfucker like, no, we unsubscribing immediately. It don't matter how much they like my videos before or how much they benefited from it. They hear one thing they don't fuck with, instantly unsubscribe. But these be the same motherfuckers who never gave me $1 anyway. So who gives a fuck, right? You know what I mean? These ain't the people that support me. These ain't the people who who thumb up the video. You know, when they really respect it or leave a comment, these be the motherfuckers who just lingering on. They just linger and never said nothing, don't make themselves known. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, we're gonna keep on doing it. Your moon is in the 12th house. Is that bad? Why would that be bad? There's no such thing as a bad constellation or a bad alignment. It can become bad if you don't understand it. But no, every alignment has positive attributes and negative attributes. You know what I mean? So every attribute has a positive side and a negative side. So if you want to focus on the negative side of it, you could do that, but you can also focus on the positive attributes. It all depends on how you choose to look at it and how you choose to convert the energy. Can you convert the negative attributes into the positive attributes? It's all about converting the energy. It's like, again, we are all demons and angels simultaneously. Some people just choose to convert that demonic energy into angelic energy, and some people choose to convert that angelic energy into demonic energy. Right? It's just all about what you want to do. It's not about right or wrong, or angels are better or demons are bad, angels are good. It's just all about what you are trying to do. What is your purpose? What is your goal? And again, if you're looking for power, angels are not really going to give you power. They will give you information. They will give you insight. They'll give you visions, clairvoyance, clairaudience. They can do all that for you. But if you want some earthly power, spirits, which people call demons. You know what I mean? Like, you have to deal with it. You have to deal with the dark side and the light side. So all you motherfuckers who just strictly deal with the light and try to neglect the dark like it's something wrong with it, you are very misinformed. Because I guarantee you are not going to amass any power physically without dealing with demons or darker entities or earthly spirits, whatever you want to call these energies. You have to deal with that. They guard the gateways. They guard the portals to power. So you have to go through them. Just like the angels guard certain gateways and portals to certain information. You have to go through certain portals, or you have to go through certain gatekeepers. You have to. There's no way around it. And if you see if a person doesn't want to embrace it, then you're going to see that they're imbalanced. That's where the imbalance. That's why most people are imbalanced, because they're being picky about what they want to work with, because they are afraid of the dark side. They still haven't dealt with their own subconscious mind. You can't deal in fear and be spiritual. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? So you conquer your fears by dealing with these earthly spirits, who can be very frightening, very fearful, but they will deal with you if you don't allow them to take advantage. Because again, it's just like the streets, you know what I mean? But again, I guess everybody's not from the streets, so they don't understand how the dynamics of how these deities work. They're just like, again, if you don't want a bully to bully you, then you have to stand up for yourself. It's simple mathematics. But if you don't, if you allow that bully to make you a bitch, then that's on you. It ain't even the bully's fault. It's because you didn't stand up for yourself. Then the bully just took advantage of your own weakness. So yes, these demons or these deities will take advantage of your weaknesses if you allow it. But if you show forth your strength and you show forth your courage, then that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Why? Because you are more powerful than these energies. They work for you. You don't work for them. You're just, you know what I mean? You are, it's like you are signing contracts with them. For yourself, though, you're doing it essentially for you. That's what you do it for. So, let me see. What are the negative attributes? Talking about Cancer in the 12th house. The 12th house is Pisces, for one. For all my astrology heads out there. So when you're dealing with the energy of Pisces, we know that Pisces are the most imaginative people on the planet, right? Pisces rule institutions like jail cells, like jails and hospitals and asylums. You know what I mean? Pisces thrive in those type of areas. So your Cancer in the 12th house is like, you know, obviously you're dealing with a cardinal water sign and a mutable water sign. A cardinal water sign is like a waterfall. A mutable water sign is like lakes and rivers. It's like the energy is spreading. So you're dealing with this spreading energy versus this waterfall. So you're dealing with a waterfall that is spreading into several lakes and rivers. So you got this waterfall, this Cancer, this waterfall is falling into this water that's turning into lakes and rivers. As an analogy. So the negative attributes can be that your single pointed focus, the waterfall, has a certain intention, but the intention gets broken up because the energy gets scattered with the Pisces energy. So the Cancer is trying to channel the energy into the Pisces, but the Pisces is breaking up the this one intention can be fulfilled in several ways. So you just have to learn how to spread out your energy as opposed to being single pointed. You know what I mean? So again, this is just really all about how you perceive it. Something perceived as negative can be perceived as positive once you know how to work the energy. So that's all it is. You just have to know how to work the energy. You know what I mean? It's simple. You just gotta study. Study yourself. Study yourself. Learn yourself. And once you analyze yourself, learn how to convert your negatives into positives. It's all about converting energy. If you don't know how to do nothing else in this world, just convert energy. If you know how to convert your own energy, how to take the energy from the lower chakras and move them up, or even energy from the higher chakras and move them down. Most people don't talk about that. You can utilize the same way you move energy up, you can move the energy down. You know what I mean? It ain't just all about up. So all this higher intelligence, the higher intelligence can be channeled into the lower chakras. And that's really what sex magic is. The magic aspects, the higher chakras, which is all about magic, channeled into the lower chakras, the sexual act. Now you have sex magic. So you have the sexual act that has become a magical act, a sexual magical act, which is some people call tantra or tantra, right? It's a whole science about this. You know what I mean? It's a whole philosophy about this. So there you go. You have Scorpio on my rising sun, moon, Mercury, and Pluto. What's your thoughts? So definitely, I want to say this before I answer these questions. Again, you know what I mean? For anybody who has any questions about astrology, numerology, tarot cards, metaphysics, just hit my email, asharenu.com, and we can set up a consultation. We can set up a natal reading. We can set up a tarot reading, whatever you want to do. So anybody who has questions, you know, you want me to answer your question directly, thoroughly, and in depth. You know what I mean? Hit up the email. That's all you got to do. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna spend too much time on the astrology questions. But just let me see. You have Scorpio, rising, sun, moon, Mercury, and Pluto. What are my thoughts? It's just really all about, since you have so much Scorpio, no, Scorpio is the 8th house. It's the 8th house. It's the house of mysticism. The Scorpio is the mystic, right? The Scorpio is the deep ocean. See, we talked about Cancer. We talked about Pisces. The Cancer is a waterfall. The Pisces is rivers and lakes. The Scorpio is the deep ocean. You know, in the deep ocean, you can't see how deep the ocean is when you look at the surface. When you look at the surface of the deep ocean, all it does is reflect back your image. So you have to stick your head below the waters or into the waters. But once you stick your head into the waters, you can't see. So you have to close your eyes. So now you have to activate your intuition. So that's what Scorpio is all about. You sticking your head into the deep oceans. Now you have to use your sixth and your seventh senses to sense. Now you got to sense. You can't depend on your eyes no more because you underwater. Your eyes are irrelevant at this point. Some people can see with their eyes open, but a lot of people can't. So you have to close your eyes. So now you have to sense. You have to use your intuition. You have to sense what's around you. You can't depend on your eyes no more. So that's what Scorpio is all about in a nutshell. So if you can understand that analogy, you apply that to your rising sun, your rising sign, your sun, your moon, your Mercury, and your Pluto. So once you understand how Scorpio moves and how Scorpio activates, you can understand how that energy will be channeled into the sun sign, the moon sign, the Mercury, or the Pluto. You know what I mean? So I'll just give you an example of the rising sign, Scorpio. So then you can take it however far you want to take it from there. So based on what I just said, how that energy will be channeled into the rising sign of Scorpio would be, because your rising sign is your personality, right? Your rising sign is your personality. Your personality. So how would that be channeled into your personality? Everything I just said, activating your sixth and your seventh senses. That channeled into your personality just means that you know how to read people deeper than what people are saying. You know what I mean? You are a person who studies body language. You are a person who studies the different arts of how to read people without speaking to them. You know how to read palms, palmistry, face reading, right? Lip reading. Like you know all these alternative sciences. You know how to read the shapes of the eyes, the shape of the eyebrows, the length of the nose, how big or small the lips are. You know what I mean? The structure of the head. You know how to read all of this stuff. Because again, you're not dependent on your eyes, you're dependent on your intuition. So that's how it would translate into your personality. Your personality is just you are a reader or you are a seer by nature. You are by nature a seer or a reader. Somebody who can look into various dimensions of a person. And that's how you judge people based off of their energy more so than what they're saying to you. So you can just translate that into your sun sign, your moon sign, your Mercury, and your Pluto, just how the nature of Scorpio activates. You know what I mean? So there you go. Let me see. Where we at? We at 48. Okay. Are transgenders channeling the Baphomet energy? You can say that. You can say that. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of people who feel like before we were two separate genders, we were one gender. What is it called? Hermaphrodites, right? Some people feel like, yo, we used to be hermaphrodites, and the transgender just represents an ancient figure that no longer exists. You know what I mean? Because they could say it go both ways. You know what I mean? You have men who had feminine genitals. You have women who had masculine genitals. You know what I mean? So it can go both. It's like you had the hermaphrodite and a hermaphrodite, right? So yes, you can say Baphomet definitely represents that ancient deity. Now again, I'm not saying if it's real or fake. It's just all about you make up your own mind. But yes, you can definitely say the transgenders are channeling the Baphomet energy, which is just the energy of Saturn, and Saturn is androgynous. So yes, the transgenders are channeling that androgynous energy. And I believe there's an androgynous being called between Hermes and Aphrodite. It's a deity that's a fusion of Hermes and Aphrodite. I don't remember the name of it, but you can type that in. It's like it's a hermaphrodite or a, anyway. Yes. Just to answer your question, yes. I'll be going all over the place. Hopefully, I'm not confusing nobody. Um, my girl said she was born a demon, and I have been in constant contact with angels and what I feel to be God. So I don't understand why life put us together. To be balanced, bro. She's the lower chakras, you're the higher chakras. And when y'all unite, y'all become fully activated. I don't see why that's so hard to understand. Most people feel like, oh, if I'm an angel, then I gotta be with another angel. No. You need to be with a demon that's gonna fucking suck your dick from the back. That's what you need, because the motherfucking angels is not gonna do that shit. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? You need that demon to motherfucking turn you on sexually to activate uh, your sexual divinity. There we go. You need them demons to activate your sexual divinity. Because most people be like, oh, the sexuality and divinity don't go together. That's how most people feel. But there is a divinity within sexuality. That's why I say, like, I'm not casting no judgment on anything I'm speaking on, because there is a divinity within sexuality. You know, that's the whole point. So that's why y'all together. She's there the month. She's the balance. That's all it is, man. It's not rocket science. I could listen to you for hours. That's why I be making these fucking hour-long videos, man. I think every video is like a whole fucking hour. So I'll be trying to speak 4 hours. But I know, you know what I mean? Trust me, I can make a 6-hour video. But how many people will watch that? You know what I mean? I can speak to y'all for 6 hours, but how many people is gonna watch that? So I try to keep it short. But like, damn, how short is an hour, right? You know, I'll be doing my best. But you know what I mean? I'll look up 2 hours and pass. Let me see. The more I learn, the less I understand this universe. Yeah, a wise man knows that he knows nothing. Right? There you go. A wise man knows that he knows nothing. You got to be like a child, man. It's going to be information you run into that contradicts the information that you thought you already learned and mastered. You go to another level, like, yo, this is contradicting everything that I felt I just learned. Cause that's the universe is like a giant riddle. It's like a giant riddle. It's like, yo, it's different degrees of information. It's different degrees of information, and one degree may contradict another degree, because there is no absolute truth. There is no absolute truth. There is no 100%. This is 100% truth. All truths are half truths. Why? Because it's all based off of how a person perceives. That's the whole science between, you know, the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. That's why he deals with the energy of the 69. Like, everybody else looks at him one way, like a fucking troll, but he looks at himself as a vessel for a higher energy. You know what I mean? So it all just depends on how you look at it. Oh, he's a fucking troll. The number 9. Oh no, I'm channeling. I'm just speaking I'm just speaking from the heart. The spirits are guiding me to do what I do, which is the number 6, right? Which is a feminine energy. Then the number 9 is a masculine energy. So again, that's what it is. That's just what it is, man. For the natal chart reading, do I have to know my time of birth? That would be nice, because your time of birth basically gives you the houses. You know what I mean? So you have, like, the sun may be in Aquarius, the moon may be in Gemini, your Mercury may be in Sagittarius. But if you don't know your time of birth, then you're not going to know your houses, because you have the alignments, then you have the houses. So let's just say your sun may be in Gemini in the 10th house. Your moon may be in Sagittarius in the 11th house. So if you want to know your houses, the houses is just the constellations. For those who don't understand that language, that's the constellation. Like, you have the planets move through the constellations. The constellations don't move, the planets move. So the sun, when the sun is in the first house, or the house of Aries, is moving through the constellation of Aries. It's going through the house of Aries. So it's like the sun is entering into the mansion of Aries. So it's influenced by the energy of Aries, although the sun may be in Gemini. So the sun may be in the degree of Gemini, but it's passing through the constellation of the house or the mansion of Aries or Taurus, or the second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, etc., etc. So hopefully that makes sense. So your time of birth just lets you know where the planets, what houses that the planets are traveling through. But it is a lot of people that don't really know their time of birth. So for those who don't know their time of birth, then, you know, I recommend tarot readings, and I also recommend numerology readings. For those who don't know their time of birth, I recommend a numerology reading or a tarot reading. But you can still get a natal chart reading. It just won't be complete. But you can still get it. You can still get some truth from it. It just won't be complete. You tried some DMT yesterday, was intense. Saw a bunch of square patterns and fractals. Yeah, the DMT is intense, bro. I don't even want to do DMT no more. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm a person, you know what I mean, that embraces drugs, and I'm like DMT, like, yo, I don't even want to do it for a while. You know what I mean? I don't look forward to doing it no time soon. Like, and again, that's coming from somebody who embraces drugs. Like, yo, that shit is way too intense. That's like death and a pill. Well, not even a pill. It's actually herbs. You know what I mean? But it's like you feel the sensation of death and all that. Like it's something that DMT is not a drug that is fun. It's not one of the fun drugs like cocaine and weed and pills. It ain't one of the fun drugs. It's like it's a drug. It's gonna have you fucking really thinking about yourself and your situation and who and what you are and what you're supposed to be doing in life. But I will say this: when I mixed the DMT with weed, because I did do that, I'm like, all right, I can't do this DMT directly no more. Or chunga, I did chunga. Like, I can't do this shit no more. So I mixed it in with some herb, and that made the experience a little bit. It lessened it a little bit, and I kind of was able to get into it a little bit more. But DMT is intense. You know what I mean? Don't do DMT if you're not ready for it. You know what I mean? That shit is gonna have a life changing effect on you. You know, so don't do it if you ain't ready for it. All right. Thoughts on XXX 10? I still don't know how to say bro's name. I apologize. The sad video. I haven't seen the video. I haven't. I've seen it on my YouTube feed. It had like 40 million views, but I haven't seen it. But I'm not in tune, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard the Drake album, I haven't heard the Kanye album, I haven't heard the Kid Cudi and Kanye album, I haven't heard the Pusha T album, I haven't heard the Cardi B album, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so behind, cause you know I just look at all this shit as entertainment, you know what I mean? I haven't heard the Nas album, I haven't heard none of that, you know what I mean? All these, there's so many albums coming out, but it's like I'm like, man, I get to it. But just as an artist, you know, an artist, we a little bit different, you know what I mean, than people who just listen to music. When you are a creator of music yourself, it's like you just kind of be in your own universe. You're not really trying to tune into other people's universes, you know, just out of the fun of it, you know what I mean? If that even makes sense. You know what I mean? So just as an artist, you know what I mean, I don't really connect with other people's universes too often. You know. But that's just me. So, all right. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Oh, X is completing a ritual in the video. I mean, he was on this shit. See, a lot of people just don't realize how intelligent the youth are. You know what I mean? The youth is intelligent. Way more intelligent than the previous generation at their age. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people just don't realize, like, yo, how could he be so young, but he was able to make so much money and he had so much knowledge and he was able to do all of the things he was able to do. It's like, yo, all of the youth are capable of doing miraculous things. They're all capable of it, you know what I mean? We just see like, oh, they're young, they still learning life. It's like, man, they got this shit figured out. Again, just look at Tupac. Tupac was 25. Tupac was younger than me, doing miraculous shit. XXX was younger than me, doing miraculous shit. Miraculous. Shit that motherfuckers never seen before. But that's just the power of the youth. When you really tapped in, when you really know who you are. He knew who he was. He knew who he was, and he showed and proved who he was. You know what I mean? That's why he has the love he has, and that's why, you know what I mean, people love him so much, because he knew who he was, and he wasn't afraid to let that be known. And he wasn't afraid to put that type of imagery in his videos. A lot of people didn't agree with the imagery he put in his videos. A lot of people didn't agree with all the stuff he was talking about. A lot of people didn't agree with, how he lived his personal life. But nonetheless, he was able to channel. Obviously, he was working with very, very dark spirits. Obviously, not saying that he wasn't dealing with lighter beings. You can say he started to deal with lighter beings towards the end of his life. But he was dealing with some very dark spirits, and he was able to amass a lot of power. But that's, what I mean? He knew how the game went. He studied the game, he figured it out, and he executed it perfectly. You know what I mean? But he know how the shit go. He claimed Anubis. He claimed he was Anubis and the king of the dead, which is basically Osiris. Makes perfect sense, right? Makes sense to me, at least, because Anubis is in charge of the funerary rites. So whenever you see coffins or a sarcophagus, you see Anubis. Then of course, when you see the Lord of the Underworld or the Lord of the Dead, which is Osiris or Asar, he represents the underworld or the subconscious mind. Anubis represents, you can say, Saturn. It also represents Scorpio. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. For him to even say something like that, that means he knew who he was. He was in tune with the spirits. He knew who he was, and he executed it perfectly. So a lot of people was like sad that he died. It's like, don't be sad. It's not sad. He knew who he was, and people will remember him forever. I don't see what's sad about that. Same thing with Pac. What the fuck you sad about? He will be remembered forever. His energy is now immortal. Just like Pac. Motherfuckers still talk about Pac. He died 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Motherfuckers still talk about Pac because he's an immortal. Pac has became a deity. XXX will become a deity. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't nothing sad about that. That's something that everybody should strive to do, honestly. Because it's not about the age. Age is irrelevant. It's all about experience. You can say he just went through enough experience in his life to where he felt complete. Like, yo, I did everything I wanted to do. It is what it is. Let me get up out of here and leave a message for the youth. It ain't nothing sad about that. He has become an immortal. But again, we have been trained to mourn at death instead of celebrate death. We should celebrate death instead of mourning death. Celebrate his life and celebrate his death, because he did what he was supposed to do, and he will be forever remembered. There's nothing sad about that. He did what he was supposed to do, right? And that goes for any musician. That goes for anybody that was famous. They did what they fulfilled their purpose. You know what I mean? We may not understand what their purpose may have been. We may not understand, like, yo, he died at 20. He could have lived at 80 or 100. But no, I mean, everybody didn't come here to live for 80 years. Everybody didn't come here to get old. Some people came to do their mission and get the fuck on. He came, he did his job, he got the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? So salute to the brother forever. You know what I mean? He did what he was supposed to do. And that's why, again, the people respect him. That's why he was able to do what he was able to do, working with these spirits. And he knew who he was. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? There's a funerary process in the video. That's what I'm saying. If he said he was Anubis, then that makes sense to me. It's just that, again, most people don't study their spirituality, so they can't connect the dots. So when he said, "Lo, I'm Anubis," they don't know who the fuck Anubis is. When he said he's the Lord of the Dead, they don't know who the Lord of the Dead is. So they can't connect the dots. They're just looking at it like, oh, that's interesting. They don't even know who the fuck he's talking about. So that's why it just seems that way. They just didn't know what he was talking about. He knew who he was. And he was showing and proving who he was. He had the energy of Anubis. He had the energy of Asar. For those who understand how those energies work. You know what I mean? But if you don't understand those energies, then it's just like, yo, that's just some fun shit to say. Well, hold on. Let me take a swig of water. Give me 1 second. Hold on. back up in here. All right. So, with that all being said, unless anybody has any more questions, we're going to get up out of here. Again, I'll probably be at y'all either tomorrow or later on. It all depends if I think about something to talk about. Yeah, but other than that, I think the point was made. You know what I mean? Because now we kind of getting off topic now. So I think the point was made. You know what I mean? The sexual underworld, I think I explained it thoroughly enough for people to do further research. I encourage everybody to do further research. Just use this as an avenue to do further research. And you make a decision as to is this something you want to do or not. And again, just watch the previous video if you want to look at different avenues to amassing energy, to amassing power. And I said, other than that, we're gonna light up this cig, and we're gonna get up out of here. So let me locate my lighter, and we're gonna make it do what it do. So hold on 1 second. All right. Is it a Newport? No, this is a Marlboro. Y'all see it? Hold on. There you go. Marlboro, however the fuck you say that. No, that's not a Newport. I do have Newports though. But you know, obviously, once again, tobacco is all about connecting with the spirits. So when you smoke tobacco spiritually, not just a person who just smoking back to back to back just to get high, you smoke tobacco, which is poison, which can kill you. However, it's used as an avenue to connect with the spirit. So just like yesterday, when I smoked the cig, I smoked it to connect with the fairy kingdom. You know what I mean? Because obviously when you are around a lot of trees, then you know what I mean, you are around a lot of fairies. Tips, you smoke Newports. You know, I don't think it matters, you know, whatever your preference is. You know, I'm just not really getting into or how to connect with the spirits. I guess that's what you're asking. It's just all about you. You have to make an intention, right? So, for example, let's just say you wanted to connect with Anubis. We were just talking about Anubis, right? So, if you wanted to connect with Anubis, what you would do is you would have to bring the imagery of Anubis to your third eye. So, place an image of Anubis in your third eyes. You know what I mean? And you can chant the name Anubis. Anubis, his original name was Anpu, Anpu, right? So Anubis or Anpu, Anpu, whatever, you know, however you want to address him. Bring the image to your third eye so that you can clearly see him. So as you are smoking, you are keeping this image in your third eye. So while you are generating energy from smoking a cigarette, it generates energy. While you're generating energy, the energy is being directed. So basically, as you smoke, as you inhale the smoke, you are practicing pranayama. For those who don't know what pranayama is you're utilizing your imagination to control your breath. So in other words, so when you're inhaling, you are imagining the energy going into the third eye. So as you are inhaling the smoke, for example, you're inhaling, obviously it's going into your lungs and you're holding the breath. That's where your breath is going, but you're utilizing your imagination and you imagine, you can say a blue light or a yellow light or a white light. You imagine a light going from the back of your mouth up into the third eye, or you can say up the nose to the third eye, and it starts swirling. So you inhaling, hold your breath, blow out, repeat, repeat, repeat until it's finished. So there you go. So that's the tip. So whatever you're trying to connect with, bring it to your third eye. Utilize pranayama, and again, type in pranayama if you want a deeper technique. But you imagine, just imagine that energy is constantly going to the third eye, constantly going to the third eye. So you're just giving it power, giving it power, giving it power. So there you go. For all my smokers out there, don't just be smoking because you got the urge to smoke. You know what I mean? Activate your spirituality, put in that work. Can't be a shaman without some type of mind-altering ways, dancing or anything else. Yeah, shaman is all about, traveling the astral planes, connecting directly with the spirits, the plant spirits, spirits of the earth, spirits in the air, you know what I mean? Spirits in fire, you know what I mean? The shaman is all about connecting with the elements of the earth, you know what I mean? To be a medicine man, another word for a shaman is a medicine man, right? So when you connect with the plant spirits teach you various combinations. It teaches you alchemy. It teaches you earth magic, so on and so forth, you know what I mean? So that's what a shaman is, you know what I mean? The shaman goes through those doors of spirit to learn the secrets of spirit so that you can become a medicine man and you can heal through the use of spirit. Again, so they give you a cigarette, you're like, man, I'm having a stomach ache, man. I'm like, damn, I think I need some spiritual healing. And they hand you a fucking cigarette, they're like, yo, take this cigarette, have a smoke, and you just looking like, what the fuck is this gonna do? You understand? They may have put a special combination of tobacco in the cigarette, a special type of medicine that will help alleviate what you're doing. But if you just like, oh, this is just a fucking cigarette, oh, it's not a real shaman. You know what I mean? So you just gotta understand who you're dealing with. So yeah, let's smoke this up and get up out of here. Hold on. It also, like I said, I don't even buy cigarettes. People just give me cigarettes. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I guess this is just from the spirit. You know what I mean? I'm not spending my money on these. People literally just give me cigarettes. I guess they feel like, yo, you look like you need a cigarette. Well, fuck it, I guess so. Hand it over. Thank you for your knowledge. You're welcome. You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do. You know what I mean? So definitely, if you feel enlightened, hit the like button. You know what I mean? Feel free to leave a donation with the Cash app, asharenu. You know what I mean? However you want to show love, show love. You know what I mean? Especially if you're getting some type of benefit, and I know you're getting benefit. Ain't nobody else telling you this, or they may be telling you this, but they're not telling you this in this fashion. You know? So, you know what I mean? The energy exchange is definitely appreciated on whatever level you're gonna do it on. But tobacco is hella strong. I'm not gonna lie, super strong. You know what I mean? So here we are again. So we've been on here an hour 40 minutes. I keep saying I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'll be on here 2 hours. But y'all know how I go. You know what I mean? I'm just so passionate. When I get to speaking, the spirit is like, no, say this, say this, say this, say this. No, you don't just say that. You gotta let them know both sides. You gotta let them know the truth. You know what I mean? You can't lie to the people. Tell the truth. 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 All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. You know, tell them what happened to you. Tell them what happened to you. Don't just say it. Give them an example of what happened to you. All right, all right, all right. You know what I mean? And once again, you know what I mean? I'm still coming out with the book. You know what I mean? So definitely look out for the book in a month and a half. You know what I mean? It's definitely the time of Anubis. It's Metatron, Thoth, or Enoch. Pretty much. Pretty much. It's definitely a form of Metatron. Definitely. Pretty much. You follow me on Twitter? I'm definitely not active on Twitter. I think I got some posts on there, but I don't even be active. I'm more active on Facebook and Instagram, or even the YouTube community tab. I don't even really understand Twitter. I really don't even understand Twitter, unfortunately. You know what I mean? I may even delete my Twitter. I just don't get it. Not that, I don't conceive of what it does. I'm like, everybody has their own niche. I feel like I'm just better with Instagram. I'm better with YouTube. You know what I mean? Twitter, I'm like, I don't like, what is my? I would just be posting my YouTube Twitter, or what I'm supposed to be posting my thoughts. So these are my thoughts for the day. But that's just me. That's just me. Some people thrive on Twitter. To each his own. Yeah, we're gonna get up out of here as soon as I finish this up. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, watching. Definitely hit the like button. You know what I mean? Definitely show love however you show love. You know what I mean? We're gonna continue to put out this information as we do best. And that's why I say we. I mean, be in the spirits. It ain't just coming from me like I just read a million books. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's direct channels. If you didn't know that by now. What up? You late? Yeah, we about to get up out of here, man. We about to get up out of here. So you got to rewatch it. We literally about to log out in the next couple minutes. Yeah, I'm pretty much finished now. But it was a good video, know what I mean? Just definitely hit the replay button and see what we was talking about. Definitely a very, very interesting video, as they all are.